to MOCA's Nola bells and bows. Where the love runs deep, the fam stays strong, and the bells, they always ring for us. We the bells and we hold it down. Yeah, real ones only, we don't mess around. All love, no cap, no clout to chase. Just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, MOCA got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role. Just show a real and you already home. Pull up to the bells and bows like a Sunday seed. Got peace in the room and the vibe on beat. No drama, no mess, just minds that meet. Introduce yourself in the chat and the mods gon' greet. Real talk, we got brothers and sisters here. Ain't no fake love, every heart sincere. We've been through storms, but the skies stay clear. Loyalty live, that's the chant you hear. Woo! No chaos in the comment section, just bells with a bond and a bold connection. Safe space, strong face, deep reflection. MOCA don't fold, that's pure protection. If you ever felt unheard, misunderstood, pull up in the chat, we treat you good. Ain't gotta be loud, just gotta be true. MOCA got the light and we shine with you. Not a panel of pain, it's a platform of pride. Everybody got space and we don't divide. You loyal, you love, that's how we ride. Got a bell and a bow in the name, but a tribe world. From the mods to the lurkers and folks on rewatch. Every tap, every like, we feel it alive. MOCA ain't just a name, it's a vibe you caught. No la bell, no la boast, that's a family, not a thought. Bring it loud, we the bells and we hold it down. Yeah, we do. Real ones only, we don't mess around. Real talk, all love, no cap, no clout to chase. Just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, MOCA got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role. To show a real and you already home. MOCA said that to every bell in the space. Whether you typing, watching, or just vibing, you are this family. And over here, we don't fold, we ring. Ooh.
Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to the chat. I see y'all up in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here again tonight with another live stream. Y'all know how we do over here. Y'all know exactly how we do it over here. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Welcome back. We're back here talking about Jarvis Butts. Once again, Jarvis Butts is a conversation to be had. Y'all, Jarvis Butts, that conversation is just not ready to go away. Jarvis Butts didn't last 2 weeks. He did not last 2 weeks. And the question tonight is, who wanted him silenced? Who wanted him silenced? He was found unalive only 14 days. Only 14 days after sentencing. So now the question becomes, what really happened in that cell? What really happened in that cell? Jarvis had already spent 10 years in prison. Jarvis had already spent 10 years in prison for similar charges, and he survived. Then Jarvis comes back and spends 2 years in a county, and he survives. So you mean to tell me Jarvis gets sentenced, right? And don't even last 14 days? Don't last 14 days? Jarvis didn't even last didn't last 2 weeks. I mean, not 2 months, not even a full 30 days. I'm telling y'all 2 weeks. I need somebody to help me understand something. Jarvis went through the whole process. Jarvis stood in that courtroom, or he sat in that courtroom drawing his little stick figures on that paper. He went through the entire process. He got sentenced. And then just 14 days later, y'all want me to believe that there's a no Jarvis? Nah. Because that right there, that ain't something you just hear him say and then you just say, oh, okay, well, he gone. That's something you got to stop and look at it for what it really is. Because let me tell you something. No matter how good or bad a person is, timing tells a story. Timing tells a story. And this timing here is loud, y'all. It's loud, profound. And I'm asking the question tonight that I know a lot of people are thinking. And that is, who wanted Jarvis Butts silenced? Because in MOCA's opinion, this is either one hell of a coincidence or something happened behind them cell doors that we're not being told about. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I see y'all coming up in here. What's going on, my people? What's going on? Happy Friday, guys. Mods, I see y'all. I see y'all in the clutch. And I appreciate y'all so very much for holding down the porch each and every time. Everybody else coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Go ahead, come on in, pull up a seat, get comfortable. Because y'all know how we rock in this space. If you haven't already hit the like button, please hit the like button for your girls. Share this live out. If you new here, go ahead on and drop from the clouds and subscribe. And y'all already know what to do. Double tap those emojis for your girl on the side so YouTube knows that we are live on the porch. The drinks are being poured, the legs are being crossed, and the conversation is getting ready to be had. Those in the clouds, don't just sit back. Come hop on the porch and talk with us. Because tonight, I know there are a lot of opinions. There are lots of opinions. Now, real quick, before we go any further, let me just say everything that we talk about here is based on our personal opinions and commentary. And we are protected under fair use. And we just had to get that out of the way. So we're going to get this thing started. Happy Friday, guys. I need to see what y'all got going on in the room. If y'all feel like something about this entire situation, if y'all feel like something about this entire situation with the sudden demise of Jarvis Butts, if y'all feel it ain't sitting right, man, drop some eyes up in this chat. And if you're one of the other people that's sitting on the fence, and if you believe this could just be a coincidence, let me see the justice scales. Let me see where everybody's at. We're not all about to agree on this one, and I know it for certain, but I just want to see where everybody's at. I see the eyes in the chat. I see the eyes in the chat because everybody feels like something ain't sitting right. I see y'all. I see y'all. Yes, I do. And I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all so very much for that. Welcome each and every one of you. Sunshine, I see you, boo. Lady D, happy Friday. Melissa, happy Friday, my love. Samantha, I see you. Karen, welcome, baby. Samantha said, the man at the shop was sent. And Jarvis knew it was up then. Either one or the two, in my opinion. Guys, I posted, I pinned a comment, a question for you all in the chat. He didn't even last 2 weeks. Do y'all feel like A, he was silenced, or B, this is just how it played out? Drop your answers in the chat and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Sunshine says he didn't mention he already had one body for no reason. Everybody's in the right direction. And well, everybody's in the same direction. Let me not say the right direction. Sunshine, everybody, for the most part, is thinking the same thing that you just said. Samantha said, what's strange is he's been locked up for 2 years and nothing happened. But the minute the body shop man showed up, Jarvis was gone. Sunshine says that, boy, y'all had a hell of a conversation up in here. Sunshine says exactly. The body shop man was there to give him a warning of what was going to take place. Then my girl Samantha says body shop brought him in and he had to be the one to take him out. He said he would have had him sold. Good Lord. Let me tell you, when he said that, when he said I could have had him sold, there was like a piercing. Like, okay, the message is getting told. The message is getting told loud and clear. Loud and clear. Sunshine said, you said it. That's why, baby, to roll him up like a toilet paper kept being said over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. That was definitely cold talking. And did y'all hear the part? My girl says, did y'all hear the part where he kept saying he has gangsters on his team that will take Jarvis Butts the hell out? All of that was said. All of that was truly said. So with what was said, with what was said prior to, right? What we know and what we don't know. That tells a story. That tells a story. Mocha's not here tonight to pinpoint, finger points, call shit out. I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to do that. But we will sit here and talk on what we see. Because that's who I am. The bushes are full tonight. I see it, you see it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nosy ones and the non-nosy ones, do your girl a favor. Hit the like button for me. It's free 99 all day long. It costs absolutely nothing to hit the like button. And you're hitting the like button. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Some of you may have forgotten. But this is just a friendly reminder. Please hit the like button for your girl. So let's just slow this down for a second and really look at what we're dealing with, right? Because it got to make sense at some point. Jarvis sat through all that bullshit in the courts. Whether he knew he was guilty, figured he was innocent, whatever he may have felt, he sat through it. He sat through it. And we ain't just talking about anybody. We're talking about somebody who had already been sitting in jail for years, going through the process, waiting on an outcome, dealing with whatever comes with it. But he was told while he was going through, and that's just my opinion, while he was going through, he was told that he was protected. Then sentencing finally happened. Then sentencing finally happens. And in my opinion, they didn't feel it would come out the way it turned out. Sentencing happens. Within 24 hours, they pack Jarvis Butts' ass up and they take him to his temporary resting place. They take him somewhere where, because where he was, that was just his temporary home. Jarvis was going there to be evaluated. They were going to see where his mental was, where his mindset was. They was going to see what level of risk he was. Right? Jarvis did not get a chance to even be evaluated. He did not get a chance to go through the full process. That speaks volumes. And what speaks volumes even more? They move him out in the middle of the night like a thief, bring him over there, let him get a little comfortable. And then the interview came. Well, first the appearance in court came. Then the interview came. Now you don't mind being seen in the public. You don't mind talking about it. And then just a few days later, here it is, Jarvis Butts is found dead in jail. Now, this is where I have a problem. This is where I have a problem. Because I don't care how nobody try to put a spin on this shit. That timing right there, that timing ain't regular timing. Jarvis Butts, we can't forget that this man survived years behind bars. We can't. He survived years behind bars, but you mean to tell me he couldn't make it 2 weeks? 2 weeks? Everything about that shakes the fuck out of my spirit. Because he deserved to suffer. He deserved to sit there and go through it. He deserved to sit there and go through it all. Each and every day he was supposed to be miserable. But they didn't want him to be miserable. They wanted him to shut the hell up. They didn't want nothing to leak. And that's why I said what I said long before today. And those of you that's been rocking with me, y'all know I've always said this shit was bigger than Jarvis Butts. This shit was bigger than Jarvis Butts. And the fear, in my opinion, the fear was we can't have him there saying shit he ain't got no business saying. We can't have him there saying not a damn thing he has no business saying. But that's the storyline they want us to believe, right? Because I'm not believing it. I have to be honest. I'm not believing it. I'm going to tell you why I'm not believing it. Because it goes back to timing, like I said. Goes back to timing. It don't sit right with me. It don't sit right with me. And they're going to have to, in order for MOCA to ever shut up about it, produce a body. I don't want a wax figure. Produce a goddamn body. Then maybe I'll believe that. Just maybe. I'll believe that. The stories that they're trying to see, let me tell you why I say that. Everybody's rejoicing that he's no longer here. But if Jarvis Butts was supposed to be in solitary confinement, being closely monitored, how does it happen? How does it happen? Who unlocked the cell? Who unlocked the cell and let somebody in to do Jarvis Butts what they're claiming was done to Jarvis Butts? Because if that's the case, then that's a whole nother ball game that we're playing right now. Because that leaves somebody responsible. That means those that is in charge are those that were supposed to be in charge. They're responsible. He was supposed to be monitored. So for everything that they're putting out here, MOCA ain't buying it, because from the beginning of time, 1 + 1 with these people never equaled 2. So everybody has a theory, everybody has a story, but nothing is making sense. I even heard Mark D. Mark D said he got his information from a very reliable source within those walls. Right? He said the source told him that Jarvis used the bed sheet. 6 foot something tall ass nigga, he used the bed sheet. But check this out. Check this out. He used the bed sheet. And if you use the bed sheet, my next question becomes, because Mark D said they told him that Jarvis used the bed sheet, and then they found him unresponsive, laying on a table. God damn it, make this shit make sense. I can't make this up. How do you leave from a noose to laying on a table? I'm confused. I am so confused. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. So I'm just confused about a lot, because like I said, this don't sit right with me, because usually the moment after anybody is sentenced, Rock, they said they tried to give him CPR and it was very, unsuccessful. In most cases, the moment after sentencing, that's when everything settles for people. They know their fate, they know where they're going, they know what they're, facing, you know. But this shit was all mapped out even before the sentencing. The plan was already in motion, just like the plea deal, just like the fact that there was no juror. Y'all know, we have to make sense of all of this. We just can't pick up what they drop. We cannot just pick up what they're dropping off and run with it from that moment. We have to backtrack this whole damn thing and start connecting the dots. And you have to weed out what makes sense and what don't make sense. And what don't make sense is everything that started happening from the very first preliminary. And that's where you have to start. Jarvis was too comfortable Too comfortable. Jarvis knew in his gut. He's been doing it all his life. Jarvis knew he was protected. Why do y'all think King sat there? Why do y'all think King sat there and gave testimony the way he did? Not a worry in the fucking world. Very nonchalant. He didn't give a damn because he too was under the same umbrella Jarvis Butts was under. Samantha says Jarvis was the fall guy. And everybody's making a mockery of a grown man living in a child's body and mind. We all know what he was. And that was a PDF. He's definitely not an unalived. Samantha, I agree with that. I do definitely agree with that statement. You know, because it still bothers me. The fact that this man got sentenced. And then everything ends after the sentencing. How does things end after you get sentenced? You know, this shit could have went left when the news broke that these were his charges. When the preliminary happened and it exposed everything that he had been doing, it could have happened then. Something is stinking this water, y'all. Chat, let me ask y'all something. Talk to me real quick. Do that timing make sense to y'all or not? Do the timing of it all make sense to y'all or not? If you feel like something is off, if you feel something is off, y'all know what to do. Drop them eyes in the chat. For those of you that's just coming in, we talking about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, not months, not years. 2 weeks, this man moves to temporary housing and don't make it out. Don't make it out. And we trying to figure out what really happened in that cell, because I got to ask this. What could have possibly changed? And I know this is where y'all go get busy, and I love that. What could have possibly changed in 14 goddamn days? What the hell could have changed in 14 days that didn't happen in all the years before that? What the hell? And I want to know what the hell could have changed, y'all. Who could have changed the storyline in 14 days? But they was okay with the storyline, the 10 years that he set, the 2 years that he set. I want to know. Because this shit is far from being natural and normal. I see you, Rhapsody. I see y'all. I see y'all. They all failed Jarvis. Jarvis he didn't need saving though. He really didn't. Jarvis needed to serve his time. Jarvis needed to suffer. Jarvis needed to pay for every wrong deed that he's done all his damn life. That's what he needed to do. But then he could have been rolled up like a toilet paper. I could have sold him. That's what changed. That's what changed. Huh. That's what changed. I see y'all up in here. And there are all type of stories I'm hearing. I heard about the bed sheets. I heard about a shank. And y'all know what? The stories that you're hearing, the theories that y'all hearing, let me share a little secret with y'all. Come closer. Let me whisper the secret. All the theories that you all are hearing, the blanket, the shank, them graping him, all those stories that y'all hearing, fuck, it was designed to be that way. It was designed for y'all to get all them different stories and run with all of them different narratives. Why? 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 Because he ain't there. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. And that's just my opinion. Let me ask the chat another question while we're on it. How many of you all believe, and we're going to talk about this, that's why I love us so much, because we have open discussions, because it ain't all about what MOCA thinks, say, or feel. You all have that very same opportunity, and that's why I go through my comments. How many of you all feel that Jarvis Butts unalived himself? If you feel that Jarvis Butts unalived himself, put a 1 in my chat. I'm going to wait. If you feel, that's the question I have right now on the table, and I'm coming back with another one. If you feel that this man unalived himself, put a 1 in the chat, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I'm waiting on the ones. Okay. Nobody felt he unalived himself. Next question. Next question. If you feel this was a setup, if you feel this was staged, and if you feel Jarvis Butts got the hell on, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. Look at Cycle. I see you, Cycle. Cycle, you want to touch that body? Me too. Look at the 2s in the chat. Look at the goddamn 2s in the chat. Hey. 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 Set up. Set up. Look at Rock. Hey, I see y'all. Look. This shit is plain as day. It's written right there. Plain as day. Plain as fucking day. Mm-mm. 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 How do you do shit like that? Look at my sister Sheena. Hey, boo. She said they could fuck themselves with all these fake ass theories. I ain't buying it. I hear you, sister, and thank you for always supporting the channel. Let's take it a little deeper. I see them tools, damn it. I see y'all. Let's take this shit a little deeper. Because when a lot of people hear the word jail cell, we don't really think about what it actually looked like if you've never been in jail. That place where Jarvis Butts was supposed to be a controlled environment. Doors locked. The area is supposed to be monitored. There was supposed to be scheduled checks. People moving in and out, doing their regular routine and shit. This ain't just, Jarvis Butts out there walking through the jail like, it wasn't like that where anything could happen unnoticed. No, it wasn't like that. Jarvis Butts was in a place where every movement was supposed to be accounted for, whether it was Jarvis Butts or even another goddamn inmate. Everybody's movement was supposed to be accounted for. You understand me? Absolutely, Rock. That's what I'm believing too. Him and his boo. So how does something like this happen in a place that's supposed to be controlled? And we gotta be real. Can't run with all them fucking narratives. We gotta be real, because either something was missed, something was intentionally prevented, or something was said. And all of those three things got me looking at motherfuckers like, what? What? Y'all played y'all role. Y'all played y'all role, and we're looking at it. We're looking at it unfold in real time. And I called it early in the game. I just never thought I would see it play out as soon as it did. So you mean to tell me Jarvis Butts sitting over there in a so-say locked environment, nobody saw nothing, nobody heard nothing, nobody caught nothing in time? I ain't buying that shit. I ain't buying that just at no goddamn face value. They are going to have to show me better than they could tell me. Because why all of a sudden, right? A happened to him, B happened to him, C happened to him. Man, the whole fucking alphabets happened to Jarvis Butts in prison. So you mean to tell me it happened and nobody saw nothing? Nobody said nothing? Let me grab some of the comments. Let me grab some of these comments right fast. Because y'all know I include y'all in every damn thing that I do. Let me grab some of these comments. But let me say this. Y'all be careful with y'all wording. Because I'm looking here where YouTube is holding some of y'all comments. So it's not my moderators. Don't ever think it's the moderators. It's YouTube that's holding your comments. I'm looking at them. Welcome everybody to the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I mean, this thing got everybody with mix in a mixed bag. Everybody. Let me go down. Oh Lord, I missed a lot of comments. Kenyatta said he's gonna stick with that. Jarvis unalive himself and cover up what really happened to him. They swept it under the rug. They healed her. I see you, boo. Welcome back, boo. Welcome back. Tony said MOCA, he was in a room by himself because he can't be trusted around other people. Stacy Crosby says the sister knew. The sister knew that it was going to be some bullshit. That's why she was upset. She knew she wasn't going to see anymore. Just like NaZiyah. Tanya said this script is copied from the Epstein case. You know, I don't give Jarvis Butts right for a damn thing he's done. I've said that over and over and over again, right? And I mean that. I mean that. I don't give him right for shit. Jarvis Butts deserved everything he got. Every goddamn thing he got. But on that part, now, PJ says, MOCA, that's exactly why they called it a suicide rather than a redrum, because they know the family could sue. They will never tell the truth. Miss me with all the bullshit. Absolutely, PJ. Absolutely. Abso-damn-lutely. But they would have to show me better than they could tell me. They would have to show me better than they could tell me if it's true. If it's true. If it's true. Rock said he couldn't have done it because he thought he was going to get less time. He agreed to it. Why waste time with the plea deal at all? Rock, that's the part that bothers me the most. That's the part that bothers me the most. Because we know Jarvis' elevator don't go all the way to the 5th floor. Jarvis still stuck in the basement because it's his mindset. He's a grown man. Jarvis is a grown man with a very, very, very immature brain. We know this because what grown man wants to walk around here playing with children? He said he deserved every day in prison that they gave him plus some. And I have a problem with the sentence that they gave him to, right? That's why I tell y'all this shit. I don't give a fuck what they say about that plea deal. This shit was all planned out. And it was planned out because there were bigger fishes playing this game with them. For the charges that Jarvis Butts had, the sentence didn't fit. The sentence definitely didn't fit. For all the charges that Jarvis Butts had racked up, Jarvis Butts should have been looking at life imprisonment with no chance for parole ever. There was nothing Jarvis Butts could have given them people in a plea deal that would have made them soften the blow. Absolutely nothing. Because one thing's for certain, he never gave up where NaZiyah is. He never gave up where NaZiyah is. And that was the basis for this whole thing. And that's why I have a serious problem with Detroit. How do you make deals with the monster? How do you make deals with the liar? How do you make deals with somebody who's in and out of the prison system and knows the game better than you? Jarvis walked in there being a liar. And y'all let him play with y'all. And the only reason y'all let him play with y'all is because he saw y'all trying to play with him. And not only he saw y'all trying to play with him, but Jarvis Butts had people on the outside in the prosecutor's ears. Y'all might not want to believe it, but it's true. Why y'all think he was so comfortable? And that's why I said over and over and over again, this shit is bigger than a Jarvis Butts. This shit is bigger than a Jarvis Butts. Child, I don't want to hear a damn thing about Shannon tonight. Shannon and Annette got their own day of live streaming. Hey, Nikki says Jarvis was too arrogant to do that shit to himself. Absolutely. 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 And that's the thing. We don't know whether Jarvis Butts left behind a letter. We don't know what information he left behind. We If you want MOCA to tell it, I'll say he left and took everything with him. He left everything with him. Belinda said, I hope they don't get any life insurance. That's out the door. That's out the window. Because look, in my opinion, so that gonna make me bring up a conversation about Shannon and Annette. And I don't want to talk about Shannon and Annette tonight. I don't. Shannon and Annette, we're gonna save them for another day because them some special kind of people. There's some special kind of people that deserve their own moment. Because there's no damn way. No damn way they should be pleased with the outcome. No way. No way. Ron says, and the body shop man making his guest appearance and photo op making it obvious he was present. Baby, that's the key right there. That's the key right there. Believe me, when I tell you, Roz, that's the damn key. Levesque said, I'm waiting on them to tell how he did it. They need time to process it, Levesque. They need time to come up with the with the great lie. They need time to come up with the great lie. Deborah Crosby says, I don't believe he took his life. Absolutely. Nikki said maybe they were going to take his manhood. Rock absolutely says, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Jarvis had enablers, and he did. And let me tell you all, a lot of people don't want to believe this shit. But you know, his enablers were not just Annette, Shannon, and Marquita. They were not just Shannon, Annette, and Marquita. Y'all could take that shit to the bank. Too many lies. Too many lies have been circulating around this whole case. Too many. Too many. Shannon didn't even have a job after all of this happened, right? Losing jobs left and right. All she was living off of was whatever she was living off of. And for people to spin the narrative and to say, oh, Shannon is taking care of Jarvis in the county. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She was holding his secrets like he was holding hers. But monetarily, no, it was not her. It wasn't her. It came from the enterprise. The enterprise is who took care of Jarvis in prison or in a county. Now, y'all might want to believe what y'all want to believe. How can a damn homeless woman support this man's lifestyle in jail? No way. The people that he had been doing the most for is the people that was giving him money behind the scenes to keep his goddamn mouth closed. Let me tell you something else you may not know. Let me tell you something else you may not know. When I tell you they wanted Jarvis to not leak a fucking thing, those of you that did not catch Toots live today, when she did the interview with Judge Seabury, that lady said some things, and there's only one thing I want to touch on. And that's why I keep using the word enterprise. That's why I keep using the word enterprise. She said, there have been multiple times where Jarvis Butts engaged in threesomes. Not with grown women, with children. So let me say this. King, you cockeyed bitch, you knew. I'ma roll you up like a toilet paper motherfucker, you knew too. Can't nobody make me believe. Because why? I don't like you. Right? That was the energy they gave. I don't like you. You stole from me. I don't want to have no dealings with you. So why would I give you a shop? Why would I finance you another place to play? Why? We gonna make it make sense tonight. We gonna make this shit make sense to fucking night. They all knew. They all knew. So my thing is, if, Jarvis Butts, yeah, you nasty bastard, you did a lot. You did a fucking lot. More than you should have. But let's not be blind to the fact that he wasn't the only fucking one. Let's not be blind to the fact that he wasn't the only one. So how do you lock up one PDF and you leave 5 more running around? But we understand that same money that was taking care of Jarvis Butts in court, in jail, is that same money, that same money that had prosecutors do what the fuck they did. Don't ever let that go over your head. Don't ever let it go over your head. How many of you all, and I have to ask this question, how many of you all were aware that at the sentencing, the auto shop man walked out with the prosecution? How many of y'all were aware of that? Who just do shit like that? Who do that? And then they also said that they got a call from the sergeant to come and give a statement. That shit don't happen in real life. That shit don't happen in real fucking life. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Am I wrong or am I right? Am I the only one that saw that? Am I the only one that was privy to that? You have to connect the fucking dots and make them connect the way they should connect. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure out bullshit. But the thing is, God is a man don't sleep. Because when you dig one grave, you better dig fucking two. You have to dig two. And all these people involved in this bullshit. It's a shame. So you mean to tell me it's a bunch of people running around in Detroit right now with the mindset of playing with little children? Bunch of people that want to be relevant. I'm important. I got a business. What? I don't give a fuck. Because you saw nothing wrong. You saw nothing wrong. Who have family barbecues at an auto shop? Who is okay with seeing men having children in and out of an auto shop? That's a damn liability. And the sad part about it, nobody covered it up. And you spoke on it freely like it was acceptable and like it was okay because it was you. I have a problem with all of that. And the one thing I say, y'all gonna have to convince me that this man is no longer here. I don't want to see a wax figure. I don't want to see that. No. Show me it's him. Because I did say months and months ago, I said Jarvis Butts was going to get sentenced. I also said, not only will he get sentenced, he will disappear. My exact word was, he's going to be a memory. But I told y'all to check back within 2 to 5 years. This shit happened in 14 days. This shit happened in 14 days. For those of you that are just entering the chat, welcome, my loves. Again, we're talking about Jarvis Butts. Somebody who made it through years of sitting in prison on similar charges. And not a damn thing happened to him. Sitting county for 2 years, facing the outcome of what's happening now. But then this happened right after sentencing. Right after sentencing, he gets transferred and don't last 14 days. That shit don't sit right with us. Welcome everyone to the chat. And right now we're talking about what could have possibly happened inside that cell. Because the timing, the setting, right now, they're both raising major questions in his bench. They really are. So who's to be held accountable? Who's to be held accountable? Because somebody's always responsible for what happens inside of a controlled environment, which is that prison. Who's going to be held accountable? So was that accountability paid to fall apart? Was that accountability given a few dollars to turn a blind eye? I just don't know. God damn it, Rock crazy. Rock said Jarvis Butts is somewhere right now with new teeth and a damn new name. I told y'all his name is Jigga Jigga. Jigga Jigga done got the hell on. I said it. Hey, Steffi Jean. Nikki says it should be a letter. I hope he told them where to find NaZiyah. Nikki, hello there. Nikki, girl. Nikki, I'm going to highlight your question. Nikki, I'm going to highlight this, baby, and we're going to have a conversation about what you just said. Right? Nikki said it should be a letter, y'all. She said, I hope he told them where to find NaZiyah. Nikki, let me give you MOCA's take on that, right? I'm going to give you my take on that. Nikki, he's not leaving no letter. He's not going to tell them where to find NaZiyah. I'm going to tell you why I feel that way personally. Nikki, it's been 2 years, 2 months, 20 days now. And if he haven't given up the location in all that time, ain't no location coming, baby. Another thing, Nikki, there's a reason. There is a reason, sweetheart, that in 2 years, 2 months and 20 days, NaZiyah's body has not been located. There's a reason for that. Because over here we connect dots. And if I'm wrong, I don't mind accepting that I'm wrong. There's a reason this baby has not been located. There's a reason his body has not been located. Now you take the reason, or not the reason, just take the fact that it's been 2 years, 2 months, and 20 days that she has not been located. And then you add that to this man supposedly unaliving himself. And I want you to sit with that. I want you to sit with that. This is a play. This is a story gone wrong. This shit ain't even made for Tubi. This shit ain't even made for Tubi. It just ain't. Because how do you play with people's lives like that? Now I'm going to take you back a step further. Take you back a little step further, babe. Why would the prosecutors, why would they throw away Jarvis Butts' trafficking charges? Why would they throw away the trafficking charges? I need somebody to help me understand that. I need somebody to help me understand why would they throw away the trafficking charges. Now you see how all this shit is tying together? It's all coming together, but you got to sit there and piece it, piece it, piece it. The enterprise is enterprising, y'all. This is, Tony says, MOCA. No, listen, exactly, Tony. I'm telling you the story, the story's a while. The story's a while. He shanked himself. Hell to the no. No. Ron says, I smell systemic setup. The enterprise set it up. It was a setup. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, in a lot of things you have to use common sense. You have to. because I'm not going to just take what they give me and run with that. PJ said, MOCA from the bench to the door. They never had NaZiyah's best interest at heart. Them demons didn't give a damn. Absolutely not. PJ, it was all about a dollar. Money talk. Money talk, and it's tried to sell us bullshit for us to walk with it, but not over here. Not over here. Rashina said because they knew they messed the case up, so they had to make him disappear. That part. That part. That part. But you know, that was the plan from day one. That was the plan from day one, simply because it goes back, y'all. Why was there during the preliminary? What was said was this: we're planning to go to trial. So everybody geeked up. Everybody hyped up because it was going to be a trial. How many of y'all remember at the final conference hearing? How many of you all remember them saying, we're preparing to go to trial? I'll wait. Because I know I ain't the only goddamn one that heard them say, we're preparing to go to trial. And once y'all tell me y'all heard it, then we can move on. I heard we're preparing to go to trial. I see you, Boo Banger. I see Kernell, remember? We're preparing to go to trial. All right. So if you're preparing to go to trial, make me understand why the fuck you didn't prepare for a juror. Why was there no jury picks? Why that wasn't set up? Now y'all can miss me with that shit because y'all had no intentions from the gate. And that's what people missing. That's what people are not seeing. That plea deal was not made when they claimed they was preparing for trial. No jury selection. Ever. So this was already mapped out. This was already mapped out. And they had to play it accordingly. And they played it to the very end. But they want us to accept it. And if y'all don't think this was a bad movie, look at how the judge, what judge do y'all know? What judge do y'all know would handle somebody with a record like Jarvis Butts the way that judge handled Jarvis Butts? Bridget, we don't know nothing about Jarvis telling an inmate about who unalived NaZiyah. We don't know that. Did anybody talk to the inmate? Did Jarvis Butts talk to anybody and say he told it to an inmate? Tracy Ellen, I see you, boo. This shit is crazy. Stacy said, okay, I saw that. I read that one already. My girl Kenyatta said he's going to stick with that. Jarvis unalive himself and cover up what really happened. Absolutely, 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 absolutely. Nikki said we listened to his jailhouse calls. It didn't sound like he was being threatened, nor scared of anything. LaDrea, thank you so much for the cash app, boo. Appreciate you, mama. Absolutely, Belinda. Jarvis was moving like somebody truly had his back. They've been having it for years and years and years. And he was very comfortable. He was very comfortable living the way he was living and moving the way he was moving. Big Mama, that's the sad part. Over a decade worth of victims. Over a decade worth of victims Jarvis Butts had. But yet, that's the thing. Over a decade worth of victims, but yet he was moving around the way he was moving around, and nobody never touched it. Nobody never touched it. And I don't give a damn. You could work with me. You could work for me. You could stand side by side with me. Your energy tells the story. Your movement tells a lot. Your behavior tells it all. And bringing children around me tells a whole nother story. So miss me with the bullshit with what you didn't know. Karen said, I think they sent Brutus in there. Oops. Nah. Belinda said, no press conference, and the DPD isn't mad about it. Let me tell you. That's the telltale right there. That's the telltale right there. Right? That's the telltale right there, Belinda. Jarvis Butts supposedly unaliving himself should be breaking fucking news. Hey, Pammy, welcome, boo. She said, MOCA, you're right on target. Jarvis was just a pawn in a chess game that lit the match too many times. Trafficking is a major problem, a major operation. Everyday people, global. Absolutely, boo. Thank you for saying that. And thank you for dropping in the chat. Belinda. Jarvis Butts supposedly unaliving himself. Should have been breaking news. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Tell me why nobody came out and said nothing. Tell me why that wasn't big news. Why? Pay attention. That's all I can say. Hey, Portia Boo, enjoy. Girl, you working. Cornell says, I wouldn't be surprised if Kim Worthless or some of the higher ups plotted this. Cornell, just like toilet paper, their instructions is coming from somebody bigger than that. Roll them up like a toilet paper is just carrying out the instructions that was given to him. Hey, J. Rose, welcome, my love. It definitely was breaking news. And for as breaking as the news was, tell me why DPD. Tell me why Kim Worthless. Tell me why they did not come out and do a press conference. We got to make this shit make sense. J. Rose says since the charges wasn't a factor because they knew what was going to happen. Trust me, Detroit girl here. Angel Face, baby, no press conference. Not one. Hey, the Archer said y'all pay attention to the formula, the plan, the fall guy, the real culprits, and the rabbit holes. Bidding play for years. Bingo. Bingo. It was the Archer. It was a matter of time. Too many people, like Pammy says, too many people is on payroll. Too many people are in a position, like I've always said, to be exposed. This ain't no little shit here. And I've been saying that from day one. From day one. And now, Archer, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Rabbit hole. Vivek said, if a person gets unalived in prison, is their body released to the family to be funeralized? It should be. If the family want it, and if the family don't want it, the state, they go take it. But Lebec, you know what I'm waiting for? You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting to hear the story. There won't be a funeral because give us our privacy. There won't be a funeral because we don't want the hoorahs. We don't want the public to do A, B, C, and D. We ain't doing all of that. We want to be private. We want to be secluded. We want to do this where nobody knows nothing. And that's because it ain't him. Damn it. It ain't him. Patrima said, I'm wondering if Jarvis had a body double because he had a mole when he was first arrested and he was slim and no mole at the last court date. Patrima, it's a lot of little inconsistencies, a lot of little things that has been noticed. A lot of things. A lot of things. And Patrima, I had to ask myself at one point, was there a body double? I had to ask myself that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This shit is just stinking and stink. Stinking and stink. Absolutely, Cornell. Nothing but a cover up. Nothing but a cover up. And that's what Rashina said, y'all heard what Judge Sabri said. Y'all need to read between the lines. Absolutely. She couldn't give it all. But if you was there and you listened, it just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. Just wasn't right. Oh, you could best believe he's out of the States. Out of the States. Hey, Wilma. Wilma says his brain needs to be studied if he is really gone. No. No. He's the devil. He's the devil. And he's walking around here doing just what he was designed to do. He's walking around here doing just what he was designed to do. You hear me? And with all that didn't happen, right? Jarvis Butts supposedly gone. Supposedly gone. Let me ask the question. So now we got to take this shit up just a little step further, right? And I'm going to ask a different kind of question. Because when shit like this happens, the way it happens, right after sentencing and so fast after sentencing, let me ask something. Who benefits? Who benefits? I don't want to butcher your name, baby. Ali Tab, I see you. And I glimpsed up and I caught your comment. I'm with you. You said, look at the hair with the mask off and the haircut in court. Let me tell you, I studied those pictures for days, right? One of the pictures, his hair, y'all know he always had all of them waves. You in jail, you got waves for days, for days, for days. One of those pictures, he was all waved up. The other pictures, he was butchered with nigger knots. A leader. All right, boo, thank you. He had nigger knots. I'm telling you, a good observation. Because one day, for the whole damn thing, he had waves in his head for every goddamn appearance. Sentencing day, there were nigger knots. And if we look at all the pictures he posted on his social media, we never saw nigger knots. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sheena said the jail isn't releasing any details on how he was found, what was in the cell. So I don't know where all these theories are coming from, girl. Me either. But it's okay. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has one. And we're here to respect them. You know, because y'all, look, in all of this, we got to be real at the end of the day. We got to be real at the end of the day, right? Because I want to know who benefiting from this. That's all I want to know, who benefiting from all of this. Jarvis so say ain't no longer here to talk about it. He can't answer no questions. He can't clarify nothing because they done said he deceased. So what happens to everything that he knew then? Shanier, I see you, boo. What happens to everything he supposedly knew? It goes with it. What is it that they didn't want exposed? What is it that they didn't want exposed? Was Jarvis about to drop gems? Was Jarvis about to start calling names? What is it? They didn't want Jarvis to slip and say who was financing him, who was taking care of him, and who was making all of this shit possible? Hey, Jessica. Jessica says he probably wait for 2 weeks to. I know, Jessica. Mm-mm. Jessica says he probably waited for 2 weeks to unalive himself to be with NaZiyah so he doesn't have to get tortured about where her remains are. He had feelings for her and still covering up for the Harris family. I believe some of what you said. You know, and we all have a right to our opinion. I believe that. I believe some of what you said. I believe that he did have feelings in a sick ass way for NaZiyah. He didn't care about nobody but himself. All he cared about was what these little girls could have done for him. That's where his level of maturity was, right? We ain't gonna twist that shit up because that bitch was sick. But he didn't unalive himself, and I'm gonna stand on that. Good night, Boo Banga. Roxy, maybe it took him 2 weeks to finally get his ass in a shower. Girl, you're crazy. Angel Face says Jarvis' manhood was taken when he came into the courtroom limping and had to sit down slowly. That was done first. Mm, mm. Yep, that was her you saw in the news, Rock. Rock. That was Roxy Rocks on the news. But you know what? You know what? You know what gets me with that? Rock. Roxy Rocks on the news. Roxy Rocks on the news. Why it couldn't have been her legal guardian. Why it couldn't have been Marcus? Marcus stood her ass in court because you took my first daughter away from me. I hate you, Jarvis. Y'all some sorry hoes. Y'all are some sorry hoes. I promise you, y'all are some sorry hoes. Because how the hell is it that all of this shit that went down, but Roxy was the one? Kristen, thank you so very much, my love, for supporting the channel. All of a sudden, it's Roxy that got to go speak to the news people. What? D. Vance has a question for Mocha. What dirt do you have on Frank? Absolutely none. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. And for those that don't understand what Mocha does, I talk what I see. I talk what I see. I don't know Frank like that to say have dirt on it. That's not what I'm here from. I don't care about other people's dirt. I care about what's been made public, what is visible, and what makes damn sense. Tony said Jarvis was on an intake watch. So he was in a turtle suit and it was supposed to be looking every 15 minutes to prevent that from happening. Look, girl, 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 girl. It's a shame. And that shop is open again. They all knew. They all knew. So imagine what more is going on out there that we don't know. Look at my girl Dayona. I see y'all in here. I see y'all in here. Let me grab some more of these good old comments. It ain't just about me, it's about y'all. Let me ask y'all a question before I grab them comments, though. And I want y'all to talk to me. Be honest. Let's talk about it, baby. It's Friday night. Do y'all feel like there was more that could have come out? Do y'all feel like at some point something would have slipped and it would have exposed somebody? If you feel like something could have slipped and somebody else could have been exposed, drop a one. Drop a one. I believe more could have came out. I really do. I really do. And this is why that the 14 days, that 2 weeks, that's why it matters so much, because whatever was going to happen didn't get a chance to happen. I'm going to get your ass up out of here right now. I'm going to get your ass up out of here right now before anything take goddamn place, because we ain't playing all of this. You ain't exposing me. You ain't showing my goddamn hand, and you ain't making people think that I'm not who I say I am. That's how I see it. Welcome everybody to the chat. I see some new faces popping in. We're talking about how Jarvis didn't last 2 weeks. We talking about how Jarvis didn't last 2 weeks. And the question remains, what didn't get said? But I want to know, I want to know. Pammy, thank you so much for dropping by, my love. She said, I'm in the Sabbath. I'll be tuning back in on Sunday. Thank you, boo. I want to know who benefited from this. Because that's a question that can't be, you just can't unthink that shit. Whether you want to admit it or not, somebody is benefiting from this shit. Somebody's definitely benefiting from this shit. One claiming he lost money behind it. Nah, Jarvis was in possession of videos. Jarvis had videos of underage girls in his devices that was confiscated. And before the enterprise got their hands on the people that supposedly was arresting Jarvis, that was overseeing the case, and before because I think DPD was doing their job, but then the bigger people got to the prosecutor's office. Because DPD had to slap that charge on his ass for trafficking. But by the time it got to the prosecutor's office, trafficking charges disappeared. That's where the benefit comes in. That's where the benefit came in. Because why would you throw away the trafficking charges? And I believe that trafficking charges got thrown away because it would have reeled too many people in. Now let's talk about the coincidence. Because we could go on and on and on. But we got to make what's right in front of us make sense. Jarvis Butts is sentenced on March 26th. Right? March 27th, in the middle of the night, they send Jarvis Butts away. March 28th come. Lo and behold, another Detroiter with a PDF record that was once in uniform for DPD gets tracked down all the way in North Carolina. Was that a coincidence or what? Kenyatta, the pow charges dropped too. Was that a coincidence or what? I told y'all Jarvis gave up some shit. Jarvis gave up some shit. And that could very well be why that appearance came in court. Jarvis gave up some shit. Nobody may not see it the way I see it, but I always look outside of the box. I always look outside of the box. I don't never look at what they give me. I look at what they're not giving me. It's a connection. You best believe it is. It's a connection. You best believe it is. And don't ever think King didn't know nothing. King knew every move Jarvis made. And I'm going to tell you why I feel that way. And I don't expect nobody to agree with me. I'll tell you why. King was too damn comfortable. Too damn comfortable. When Jarvis called him and asked him to go get X, Y, and Z, go get a phone out of a car, Go get this, go get that. Why would King do that? Why would he do that? King was too comfortable. Hey, Gigi said, Mocha, let's not forget that this is a generational issue. Annette mom was running the same game, only with police, judges, commissioners, etc. So this had to be done this way, covered up. Absolutely, Gigi. Absolutely. And that's why they're sitting in a space thinking they're getting away scot-free. Ross said Jarvis' manhood had been taken. That didn't bother him. He survived prison before. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't believe he was only playing with little girls. I really don't. He's a sick person. I don't. They only say I'm on the fence with this one. Either his people helped him get away or they counseled him. Hey, I get you, my girl. It's a lot. It's just too much. It's, this is some sick shit. It's too much to say that they were doing all of this and had children involved. Children. Y'all want to play these nasty, dangerous games with your damn self, do that. But why children? Why children? Rod says, I believe they canceled him. Because even if he is still around, he was too high of a risk. This is sad. This is damn sad. This is sad. Hey, Lori. Lori said, I thought it was going to be months or at least, but 2 weeks, Lori, that part. The 2 weeks is what got me. 2 weeks. Tammy Ray says, when I heard that news lady say they found him unalive 2 weeks ago, I recorded it because that explains a lot more. Tammy, I'm going to go watch it. Because if she said 2 weeks ago, well, no, 2 weeks ago, he was over in the county. But we shall see. We shall see. This is just too much shit. Gloria said the CO in prison is working 16-hour shifts. So the union asks for the help of the National Guard to come help. But the news never brought that back up. Wow. Jesus. This is a lot. This is a damn lot. But it just baffles the hell out of me. It baffles the hell out of me. You survived 10 years in prison. You survived 2 years in county. And you couldn't survive 14 days in intake? That's fishy as hell. That is fishy as hell. Ron says in the shop owner, sitting in the courtroom talking cash shit. He was very comfortable with doing that. And that was, to me, that spoke volumes. That spoke volumes. Why now? Why now? And why do it that way? Why? Why? I mean, because if nobody wanted to look at it as being a certain way, You gave them every right to look at it being that way. Guys, if you don't mind, hit the like button for your girl. And don't forget to engage with the emojis to the right. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Wilma, definitely something to think about. J. Rose said because he played a part in getting rid of her. Let me ask y'all something. I keep seeing that, I keep seeing people say that, he got rid of her, right? He got rid of her. He got rid of her. Don't y'all think, and I could be wrong, don't y'all think that in 2 years, 2 months, and 20 days, wherever he may have gotten rid of the body, if he did, just want y'all to think about it. Don't y'all think at some point somebody would have found something? People fish every day of the week. There are boats in the water every day of the week. If she was buried, there are animals walking the woods every day. I mean, something would have surfaced, y'all. Something. In 2 years, something would have surfaced. He ain't that bright. Look at him. Look at him. Again, like I said, trafficking is real, and nobody wants to own that part. I don't believe, and I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand on that. Until they prove to me, here she is, I'm going to stand on the fact that she's been trafficked. Because in all of this time, and Detroit is known for shit like that. I told y'all once before, Detroit sent a message to a family in Chicago. Told them their daughter, the girl had been missing for years. Told them that the daughter was deceased. They would send her remains back to them. How do you send ashes in an urn to a family claiming that that was their child? And then years later, the daughter pops up. They found her being trafficked. She was high as a kite and being used all over the place in Detroit. But yet Detroit sent that family somebody else's ashes. So make it make sense. Make this shit make sense. I saw a little girl. I don't know what's going on in Detroit. And I know it's happening all over the world. I know things like this takes place all over the world, but something is going bad in Detroit. I saw a little girl from Detroit saying she ran away from Detroit, but now she's in Atlanta. That little girl lying, telling these people she's 18, 19, whatever, how old. She looks no more than 14, 15 years old. But I'm going to dig into that one because I'm going to find out who she's for and where she comes from. I have a problem with all that. I have a problem with things like that. And Detroit should be ashamed of themselves for covering up the bullshit. So they thought that was going to give that family closure by sending them ashes from who the fuck them ashes belong to. How they thought that made that family feel to find out years later their daughter was still alive, but she was being trafficked. And y'all thought I was crazy from the beginning when I was saying all the shit that I was saying. If this shit was not real, and if it wasn't deeper, somebody please tell me why Annette got kicked out of the fucking church the minute all this heat came about NaZiyah. Annette was going to church, getting her feet washed in church. Her and Florentino getting their feet washed in church. She was Miss High thing in church. Them children running all through that church doing the goddamn most. And it wasn't a real church in MOCA's opinion. Because MOCA exposed the church right here. And the minute the heat got on with NaZiyah, they kicked Annette out of the church. Then MOCA comes back, maybe a month or so later. MOCA comes back a month or so later, telling y'all a story very similar to the NaZiyah Harris story. Young lady years ago, 20 years ago or so. Same shit that happened to NaZiyah with Jarvis Butts, Eric Gamble, and any other man that Annette decided to share her with. This young lady in Detroit, her mother did the same shit to her. This young lady was 12, 13 years old. Ended up pregnant by her mama's man. The mama made her conceal that pregnancy at 12 years old. Wrapped her body in cellophane every day. The little girl delivered that baby in her mama's living room on the floor. She said she was bonding with that baby at that age. She was sleeping in bed with the baby. Her mama told her it was time to go back to school. The baby was like 2 weeks old. She went back to school, came back, the baby was gone. The mama sold the baby. All right. Fast forward, MOCA. Now this young girl done grew up, very educated, very smart, got all kind of scholarships to go to school. She got the hell out of Detroit, moved to another state. Get to another state, she settled. She hires a private detective. Private detective gets on the case. Guess what happens? Private detective finds her daughter. The daughter was 21 years old. Living at a church in Detroit. But guess who the parents of that child was? Two monsters, just like Jarvis. Two men that were PDFs, just like Jarvis, raised this child. So you could imagine what she went through? One of the PDFs was in prison. And that lady said she wanted to get on a plane and go grab a goddamn child. The detective told her, the private investigator told her, we can't move like that. We cannot move like that. That broke me because I couldn't believe it. And then this shit came about with NaZiyah. And then them kicking Annette out of the church. That connected a lot of dots. Then I go to the church's website. And lo and fucking behold, I saw some shit that I shouldn't have saw. And it took me to a whole different fucking place. Church of Jehovah Shalom, whatever the fucking name of that church in Detroit is. Got little girls sitting in that church. No older than 4 or 5, 6. The oldest could have been 8. They got these little children sitting in that church dressed like 16 and 17-year-old women. Blonde wigs on their heads. Legs crossed. Dressed in leopard print. Lipstick on. And one was posing like she was smoking a cigarette. That church had many beds in it. There's no need for a church to have no fucking beds in it. And then the wife of this pastor, bishop, whatever the fuck his name is, she has a page. And that page says, we're helping find the lost children of Detroit. Now, by this time, NaZiyah was high priority. So tell me why every other missing child was on this lady's page, but there was no NaZiyah. So God damn it, if Annette was at this church doing A, B, C, and D, and if it was for the right thing, and if that church was for the right thing, why was NaZiyah not on that goddamn missing persons page? Then some people came into the chat from Detroit and was like, Mocha, you don't know the code. I'm like, what's the fucking code? They said when you look on the wife's page, and for every child that she got the word missing written on them, she's not really missing. That's a code word for she's for sale. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, what? Man. Y'all just didn't know the shit that we done seen. Y'all have no idea. Roz, thank you so much for supporting the channel, baby. You know I appreciate you the most. Y'all have no idea. I came back and I questioned that daddy-daughter dance that Jarvis went to with his daughter. Everybody speculated and assumed that daddy-daughter dance was at the school. That daddy-daughter dance was definitely not at the school, y'all. That daddy-daughter dance was at that very church that I'm telling you all about right now. The bishop videoed the daddy-daughter dance. That's how Mocha was able to see it. I haven't. In the middle of that floor, first of all, Jarvis Butts had no business being in a setting with all those little girls. He had no business being in a setting with all those little girls. So my next thought process was, how many other PDFs are standing here? So it gets even better. Out of maybe 20 little girls, 30 little girls that was there, they only had a select few standing there dressed up with masquerade masks on. Now, here's the kicker. Belinda, thank you for supporting the channel, baby. Here's the kicker. Those little girls standing there, Bishop recording like it's funny. But they had some grown men, not these children's parents, grown men, Arabs, old ass men. I didn't see an African-American man. I didn't see a Caucasian man. They were all fucking Arabs. They were standing amongst those children with video cameras, cell phones, recording them. Recording them. So, Detroit, what the fuck are y'all really doing? What are y'all doing? Shannon knew about it. Annette knew about it. Marquita ass knew about it. And I'm going to tell you why Mocha says they knew about it. Because in that same church, there are pictures. with Shannon's daughter there, NaZiyah there, and Marquita's daughter there. So they fucking knew. I have no sympathy for those people. I have no sympathy for these people. Everything that's unfolding right now, it's unfolding for a reason. But Detroit ain't doing it. They're not doing what they should be doing to save these children. Then y'all got churches opening up around that motherfucker, benefiting off of these children. Benefiting off of these fucking children. And that told the whole story. These parents don't give a damn. How do you trust a bishop or whoever the fuck he is? How do you trust anybody that much to send your child? And it was an auction, because that's just what the fuck it looked like. An auction. And these children are coming up missing. And everybody's looking in all the wrong places and not connecting the dots to the fucking church. Y'all got this same church applying for permits through the city to open up a daycare center, open up a halfway house. And how you have a daycare center and a halfway house on the same block? You want to, you sitting up there getting permits because you want to open up a center telling the world that you can rehabilitate these offenders. Hell no, you can't. All you're doing is giving them a playground. So I don't care what nobody says. For everything that I know, for everything that I done saw, it's all about connecting the dots. Now ask yourself why NaZiyah has not been found in 2 years, 2 months, and 20 days. Ask yourself why she has not been found in 2 years, 2 months, and 20 days. And that's your fucking answer. That's why that appearance was made in court. That's why all the distractions come about. They don't want you connecting the dots. Absolutely, Roz. You gotta get through the fingerprint process. You gotta. This shit, and I said this, I've been saying this from the beginning of time. This shit is bigger than Jarvis Butts, y'all. Jarvis' funky, raggedy ass got caught up. He's slow. He nasty. All of that. He is slow and he's nasty. Why not use him? You slow, bitch. And we know you got a fetish. So why the fuck not use you? Because you ain't got no goddamn money. You ain't got no money. You ain't got shit. You bouncing from house to house, woman to woman. You ain't got a goddamn thing to lose. So why not use your slow ass? And at the end of the day, let the truth be told, his slow ass got used. That's how that shit went down. We have to do better. And it's a shame. It's a goddamn shame for these low-life, sad-ass women to put a man A man, and a piece of ass man, in front of taking care of, loving, and caring for your children. This situation is far from over. Far, far, far from over. Levesque said, and the evangelist looks like a person I would tell my babies to stay away from. I don't give a damn, MOCA. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. And let me tell you, Levesque, the evangelist was a part of this shit too. I don't give a fuck. He brought his wet fucking mouth ass out here with his stories. He's a part of it too. He was a part of it too. Ron said that was easy work for the shop owner. Jarvis was on the short yellow bus any goddamn way. And a weirdo too. That's light work for traffickers. Absolutely, Ross. Absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta make this shit make sense. I don't give a damn how you slice it. You gotta make it make sense. Wilma said probably in the country where it's legal. Wilma, glad you said that. Let me show you how God works. Belinda, absolutely. We got to pray for God to reveal it. Wilma, let me show you how God works. While talking about this case, right? I didn't mention the church. I didn't mention a whole lot of stuff. Right? I didn't mention a whole bunch of stuff. Wilma, I was sitting here preparing my life, watching the evening news. Tell me why that particular evening on the news, it said in that country where the shop people from, that country made it legal for girls in that country, to be able to become a wife at the age of 8. What the hell does an 8-year-old know about being a wife? Somebody tell me, what the hell does an 8-year-old know about being somebody's wife? And when I got that, when I saw that on the news, my spirit would never shake what I felt. Alita, Shannon will be our discussion on tomorrow. We're going to bring Shannon to the forefront tomorrow. We're going to bring her to the forefront tomorrow. And guys, if you all could take the time and go to my community wall and click on the community tab, there's a petition. It's going to be her name. I am covered. She left that on my community wall. Make sure you hit the community tab first and find I am covered. And there's a link under NaZiyah's picture that she has there. It's a petition to get charges brought upon Annette Shannon Marquita. It has to happen. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of what they've said and allowed. I'm so sick of how they, you done hurt so many children and you feel that shit is normal. This shit ain't normal by a long shot. And then it sat their dry ass there for 2 years and not said a mumbling word. Never looked for that child. They didn't look because they knew. Like, we're going to get that shit straight. They knew. And they still know. That's why they're sitting there the way they fucking sitting there. That's why Tanya, I'm trying to get her to redo it. That's why they've been sitting there for 2 years the way they've been sitting there. Because everybody kept saying Jarvis did it, Jarvis did it, Jarvis did it. Jarvis ain't did a fuck thing. Jarvis probably was the cleanup man with his slow ass. Shannon did it all. And Annette knows about it because she was there too. She was there too. I don't give a goddamn. Bubanga said, and you said the shop back open after he said he closed the shop for NaZiyah Day. What for? That one day? Yeah, look, he said it was NaZiyah Day. He was making a mockery and nobody picked up on the mockery. He said he closed it that day to go to court and he made that NaZiyah Day. What the fuck you mean? Bubanga. Tell me my thing is tell me you're playing in my face without telling me you're playing in my face. Make it make sense. NaZiyah Day. Come on now. Tell me that you're really pissing on my leg and not calling it rain. Because that's what the fuck it was. That's what it was. It's a lot. It's a lot. And y'all, it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Because at the end of the day, there are still a lot of questions that need answers. And whether those answers come out publicly or stay behind closed doors, people go still ask them, especially us. And what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sit here and act like this is just, going to wrap itself up nice and neat. No, because that's not how it started. Something about this shit from the very moment that Annette took her raggedy ass and went to sleep the night that child didn't come home, up until Jarvis Butts supposedly unaliving himself. This shit done left more questions than answers. More questions than damn answers. So I'm going to ask y'all before we close out, do y'all feel like this situation is closed? Or do y'all feel like there's still more to be uncovered? If you think it's not over, drop the eyes. If you feel like this shit done played out, then you can throw the justice scales up there. But if you feel like it ain't over, drop us some eyes in the chat. We gonna see what kind of energy is on the porch tonight, because we about to get the fuck up out of here. It's a long way from over. And let's not forget what brought us here, y'all. NaZiyah. NaZiyah. That's who brought us here to begin with. And now we're remaining because NaZiyah is still not accounted for. And Jarvis Butts didn't even last 2 weeks. That's all it took. And in my opinion, timing tells you more than anything else. More than anything else. I see the eyes, y'all. I see them. Well, y'all, I'm going to say, listen, y'all. I appreciate everybody that came and sat on the porch with me tonight. Whether you agreed, disagreed, or just came to listen, I appreciate you. I thank you. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way out. Share this live if you can. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and become a part of the porch, because we love company coming over. Over here, we talk about it all. And we don't just accept anything at face value. We ask questions. We ask questions. I appreciate the new members that joined tonight. I appreciate those that took the time and subscribed to the channel. And most importantly, I appreciate those of you that supported the channel through super chats, super stickers, and cash apps. I appreciate you all. So I'm going to get out of here. I love each and every one of you. I'm going to say God bless. I'm going to say good night. Make sure you keep your notification set So you know each and every time that I go live, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Until then, stay thinking, y'all. Stay aware. And I'll see y'all right back here on this porch tomorrow night. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. No nonsense. Love you, sis. Good night, everybody.
We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. No. Both are leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. Team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. MOCA in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. Know the pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the chat gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall, we rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Won't you lead 'em from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. Down in the NOLA where the soul don't break. MOCA built the lane where the real ones stay. Ain't no faking the funk, ain't no playing for clout. You bring that mess, we gon' sort that out. But this ain't about drama, it's about love. It's about healing, it's about trust. Every child, every voice, every name in the breeze. We gon' stand for the ones no one else gon' see. So we rise tall, we rise as one. Oh no, no bellows, the work ain't done. Won't you lead 'em from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. One mic, one tribe, one mission in mind. We protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide. Where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Won't you lead 'em from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This one's for every voice we fight for and every child who needs to be heard. We see you, we feel you. We stand with the truth. This is the NOLA bells. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Stand tall. Join the family.
Thank you all. Good night. God bless. And just a reminder, Samantha just said that I'm covered. Just said that she fixed the link. It's posted. Y'all make sure you go to my community wall, click on the community tab, and click on the link for the petition. Love you all. God bless and good night.